Here we go with week 8 of On Top the Cage. I don't think there's any introductions necessary.
I'm still here.
Dan's still here. I'm Ken. We know that stuff. Trick or Treat week. Our
Halloween show.
Halloween show, yes. I thought you'd come in costume.
I did.
Yeah? What do we got there?
Just some skull.
What does it say? There's writing there down there.
Irish to the bone, baby.
Irish to the bone. That's the best you're going to get as far as costumes go. My buddy Devin, he's a big costume person. Him and his wife, they do contests and things like that. He asked if we were going to have get-ups on the night. I said no, that was not part of the show. You also asked me.
But I asked you if you were going to make a pumpkin that said with the logo on it.
Dan did ask me that last night via text, and I started thinking about it. I was a little tired. I was laying on the couch. I don't know what I was watching, but
I would have done it had I thought of it earlier.
Making O's is a pain in the ass, though. I mean, we got 2 of them.
Yeah.
On and top.
That would have been hard. That would be one of the ones where you had to scrape the skin off. You know.
Yeah,
you
probably that, or you got to just leave a sliver and then it breaks off and you get pissed off.
I was
and things
looking
like that.
for Brownie the Elf stencils today.
Oh yeah.
Like,
are you gonna do
hard.
one? Are you guys gonna do it?
No.
We haven't done it yet.
Grandkids aren't coming, so I'm not gonna go intricate on the pumpkins this year. Last year we did all the Buzz Lightyear and Woody and the Martian and Zurg. Yeah.
We haven't done it. I think we will. We haven't not done it in the past lots of years. We only have one trick-or-treater this year. Ethan, the exiled producer, I tried to get him to wear on top the cage hoodie that says ex-producer on it. He wasn't going for that.
I got
outfit.
fired.
What? Right. What is his outfit? You're talking. My wife was out here earlier and we were talking about it.
Some dude from a game
called Terraria.
I don't know. It looks like one of those Mad Magazine bird dudes.
Lucifer Cultus or Cultus. I don't know what it is, but I tell you what, my wife's been slaving over this costume. I mean, it's like this bird beak thing that she had to paint, and it's a blue cloak, but there's all kinds of other bedazzling that needs to be done. So she's been going to town now. I tell you what, more than my parents. I'm gonna tell a story. My parents did nothing in regards to a costume. Literally, I was a dude from Planet of the Apes like 4 years running.
That's cool.
It was not cool.
You had a mask?
Yeah, but they're like...
You could have changed your outfit.
Dude, it was the same costume. It was like, I grew. It was like the pants were down to here. And the people I go trick-or-treating be like, hey, there's little Kenny. Yeah, no fucking shit. I've been in the same costume since...
You lived on a farm. You could have been a scarecrow. You could have been anything.
But I don't know, but I was the same costume.
Could have been
4 years in a row.
You could have been a farmer.
I could have been all those things.
Get creative.
Planet of the Apes, 4 years running. Oh, goodness. Candy, you got your candy, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah. I've been buying candy, those little bags.
Well, that's right, we talked about it. It's old-ass candy from the discount store.
Yeah, so. Hell yeah. Bag at a time, baby.
I would say favorite candy, but I was going to ask you that, but I like all the candy.
Butterfinger.
That's your favorite candy bar?
Yeah. And then a Reese's is right there.
Oh, God, those are both good. Peanut M&Ms are up there. There's one candy bar I don't care for, and it's Three Musketeers. I do not like Three Musketeers.
Really?
Yeah, you do?
Fine. That's fine.
That little whip whatever's in there.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever.
know. I'm good with Snickers. Dude, I like Milky Way even way better than Three Musketeers. Not a fan of that. So, you were out of town last week. You went to OU to visit your daughter?
We had a great trip down to OU. Went to the football game. They played Kent. Did not fare very well. Got to see some awesome cannon fire. The ROTC dudes were banging that stuff.
Yeah?
I mean, the stadium, my daughter's a senior, and this is the first time we went down to a football game. And they redid the stadium. And it's weird because they kept like 2 sections in the corner of the old stadium, and then there's this big courtyard. So, at college stadiums now, I told you to bring that over. No. They can sell beer. So in this courtyard, they had this whole like beer garden thing set up, and we're sitting there, and believe it or not, there was another family from here, down there, that we
really?
saw. Yeah, just happened to be down there visiting. So we're standing there BSing, and they fired those cannons off before the game, and I about pooped myself. I mean, it was so loud.
unfortunately, I had a lot to compare it to at the Bear game, but because they put up a bunch of points on my Bears, but we'll get to that slate in a while. We're not even close to that yet.
But wait, the best thing about, and we sat in the old section. You know, they really weren't checking tickets down there at OU, but when I went to use the restroom, it was the old school restroom at the old stadiums. You peed in the trough.
And it was way down low?
Now, it was up on the wall. You weren't peeing on the wall, but there was a trough there, and it was like, I wanted to take a picture of it. And I was like, oh, man, someone's going to think I'm weird if I'm taking a picture.
I may get arrested.
Yeah. But it was friggin' awesome. No lines, nothing. Dude's just walking up, peeing in the trough, and leaving.
When I made this garage/bar, if you will, or at least this portion of the garage, I told my wife I wanted one of those old school, like, trough.
Oh, yeah, all the way down the floor.
Right there on the wall.
Just tile, yeah.
It got completely vetoed. Like, it wasn't anywhere close to, like, occurring
at all. It was classic.
So.
I mean, there was no line in the dude's bathroom.
That's funny. I got a dangerous text from my buddy Ronnie at home.
Yeah?
Yeah. It said, what size shirts do you guys wear?
Extra chunky, baby.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with that exactly. It makes me a little nervous what might show up in the mail. So we'll be looking forward to that, I suppose. NFL stuff. Trade deadline's coming up. We'll see about movement. You know, obviously there's Deshaun Watson rumors, and I think Houston's gonna sell off the team. They traded Mark Ingram today. It's Wednesday, our traditional shoot day. I'm going to try to get this up tomorrow. I play golf tomorrow. I don't know. The weather is not exactly great. But Mark Ingram got traded today from the Houston Texans, and I'm sure we're going to see quite a bit of other.
Who did he get traded to?
New Orleans. Back to New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah. So, because our dude, Tony Jones Jr., the running back that sparingly played at Notre Dame, who was number 2, he's hurt right now.
Well,
anyway.
Man, is Houston tanking.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, other fun stuff football-wise, and now that we're onto that too a little bit before we get to the results and the beer review and things like that. The Manning cast was back.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Watched the entire thing.
Brady was awesome, and so was Marshawn Lynch. I didn't stay up for Sue Bird.
The girl was awesome, too.
Sue Bird.
Sue Bird, yeah, she was good.
I was not up for Sue Bird and the rest of that who was the other guest, you remember?
Jeez, there was only 4. Oh, Drew Brees.
Oh, was he?
Drew
I'm sure he's good.
Brees
Did he have all his kids like running around and shit?
No,
he didn't.
It was just him.
I always like him like running around with his kids, throwing the ball around, whatever. It reminds me of back in the day because I have 4 boys, and that's the type of shit we did. So, but yeah, Marshawn's stint was short-lived.
He's classic.
Short-lived.
Yeah, they were like, okay, he's not coming back after this commercial when he threw the F-bomb out.
He did.
Oh,
Gino fumbled the ball. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He said shit twice. He's, talking about drinking shots.
Tennessee, yeah.
But,
Yeah, 3 for him, Peyton, and Eli.
Yeah, before he came on, he said.
But he said he used to do a shot and a half before he played. Speaking of candy, that guy loves Skittles.
How do you do a shot and a half?
I don't know. It's Marshawn.
I mean, is that just
he
the
does
size
what he
of your
wants
glass?
To do.
Or
I don't know. He does what he wants to do. Let's do the beer review before we talk about last week. Beer review comes from the Masthead Brewing Company. It's called Haunted Hayride. Actually, I tried to find there's a summer beer that's out by the Saucy Brewer Works or whatever they are. I mean, they have fun, witty writers. It's called Stealing Signs. It had a baseball on it. It made a lot of sense for this week since the Houston Astros
the
made
cheaters.
it.
How the hell does that even happen?
Teddy, congratulations. They won game 1. I'm sure game 2 is.
I think America's rooting for Atlanta to beat the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes Houston.
Screw
Mattress Mac has $35 million on the line for a Houston win. You know that guy, right? You've heard his story, right?
No.
The mattress, like crazy mattress dealer, apparently has boatfuls of fucking money and places places monstrous wagers, and he wins $35 million if Houston wins the World Series. But
how about that dude breaking his leg pitching yesterday?
Yeah, and then
did he finish the game?
No, he pitched 3 more. I think 3 more batters, struck out at least one of them. So yeah, he took a ball like not a line drive. It was a hopper, but right off the back of his leg. I mean, you got 2 bones in your leg. I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm kidding.
Can't you pitch
valiant effort. So I don't know. He's out for the rest of it. We'll see.
That blows.
Yeah, it does. Beer review. Haunted Hayride. It's called. It's what, a pumpkin ale, right? I'm assuming. Yes. Masthead Brewery. What's the alcohol content? It's up top.
7.3.
Have you tried it?
No, not yet.
All right, here we go. Well, hold on, let me try again.
If this had a Christmas label on it, I think it's a Christmas beer.
You think all the pumpkin beers are Christmas beers? It's spices.
Does it taste pumpkin to you?
No, none of them do though.
No,
They do. They taste like
I'll tell you.
heavy IPAs to me.
I got to go back to our trip to OU. We were at a brewery, Jackie O's, down at OU.
Did you get a sticker for your kegerator in your garage?
Oh yeah, I've had a sticker because
right.
I've been there before.
All right.
I haven't been to a football game, but I've been to the brewery down there. They had a drink, and it was more like a cocktail. It was a caramel apple cider. It was
like that?
Fantastic.
There had to be some bourbon in it, of some sort, bourbon and whiskey in it, right?
There was no bourbon in it. It was
vodka. What's in it?
No, they put it in a keg and spit it out. It was
in a keg.
So freaking good.
What's in your kegerators right now, by the way?
It's still the Truth and that platform Blood Shandy.
Blood Shandy?
Blood Orange Shandy. People are coming over this weekend, so hopefully they'll be gone and we can change it up. At least the one. We'll keep the Truth.
Who's
Truth
coming
always
over?
Stays. The neighbors.
The neighbors. The neighbors.
The usual crowd.
You gonna put a Christmas beer in there?
I thought about it, but I don't know. When the weather gets crappy, no one wants to stand in the garage with me and drink. Oh.
Sometimes I'm more of a trooper. I think out in my garage, even to Dan is sometimes like it'll be like 10 degrees. He'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm out in the garage." He's like, "Are you fucking crazy?"
Because I'm in the house with my shorts on.
Right. I hear you. No, come on. You need a Christmas beer. By the way, set change next week. It'll be the calendar will turn to November.
Oh, and good grief, the Christmas tree will be out.
The Christmas tree will be out for next week, I think. I think if I get around to it, I'm hopeful. So we'll see. I think Monday is actually November 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right. Last week we've talked a lot already. Dan went 6-7 on the year. He's 56-1. He did lose his elephant pick. I went 9-4, stacking good weeks. I am at 59-47-1. I did win my elephant pick with the Raiders. So I'm doing well. Dan's got a little bit of work to do, but this is kind of where it was.
I'm coming back, baby.
This is kind of where it was. We're not the halfway point. Next week, I guess, is the pseudo halfway point, but we have that extra game. Normally be the halfway point. But I think I was right around this point last year in the same, solid marking of plus 12, 13, 14, whatever it was. I'll have to look back because I keep all these boards. But and then I just tanked in the third quarter, and you did pretty well. So, all right, I think we're on to the games, right?
Yep. Let's go. I got a soccer game to watch.
Crew. Anyway, they're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Best game on the board for the entire week, if you ask me, is on Thursday Night Football. It would be the Green Bay Packers, who are 6-1.
Are you serious?
Awesome game. The Green Bay Packers, 6-1, travel to Arizona.
The Steelers are playing. Screw the Packers in Arizona.
This is an awesome game. They play the only undefeated football team in the National Football League, the Arizona Cardinals. They are 7-0. Arizona is a 6.5-point favorite in this game. Over/under is 51. Green Bay, they had come off a win against the Washington football team. I watched a chunk of that game because the Bears didn't play until 4:25. I'm not impressed. Well, their offense is fine, but Devontae Adams is on the COVID list right now.
Defensive coordinator's got a COVID issue. They
yes.
already said he's out.
Alan Lazard, another one of their main receivers, COVID. I don't think they're playing. I don't. That's a big deal, especially Adams, who's probably the best receiver in the National Football League.
They already ruled the coach out, so the coach must not have his shots.
Their defense sucks anyway.
But the other two, they're kind of sketchy on, saying they don't know if they have the shots or not. So that's interesting.
I'll tell you what, I watched a chunk of the Green Bay Washington football team game in Green Bay last week, and Green Bay gave up a ton of yards to the Washington football team. They just couldn't convert. They turned the ball over like 3 times inside. It wasn't the red zone. It was like the 5-yard line. A controversial call on one of them where Heineke was running free to the end zone and kind of dove, but they said he gave himself up and they didn't make it on the following play. But that was one of them. But they moved the ball up and down against the Green Bay Packer football team. Talk about Arizona. Arizona comes off a win against Houston. The game obviously they should have won. They did. They blew them out. They didn't start off so great. They get Chandler Jones back. He comes off the COVID list. They're a big play machine. They got to keep Murray healthy, and he's been getting dinged up a little bit. I mean, he's the piece. that makes the whole thing
Yeah,
go.
there's no doubt about that.
It's a pretty big number, 6.5 against a damn good football team in
Going
the
with
Packers.
the Cardinals.
So am I. It's the defense for Green Bay. I think they're going to light them up. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is so freaking good at night, though. I mean, primetime games, he's so good.
Yeah.
It's Devontae Adams for me. If they had Adams, I think I would go the other way and take the points with the Packers. I'm going to give it to -6.5. I hate doing it, but I'm going to because I'll be out here partying. I think Thursday's Friday Eve, if you will. I'll be rooting for a good game to an extent, but I always root for the Packers
I think
to
I'll
lose.
be carving pumpkins tomorrow night, watching this.
Me
in
too.
The garage.
Me too. You doing it on top of Cage?
Huh?
You gonna do it on top of Cage? Dan's like, no, it's not my show. It's your show. When I asked if he was gonna do it,
I wasn't gonna do
hard.
anything fancy. What
were you gonna do?
That.
Boo?
Just a couple triangles and a.
like a shitty jack-o'-lantern face.
Yeah, I haven't done a shitty jack-o'-lantern face in freaking
My traditional one, because I don't like doing it either.
18 years.
That much. I mean, I was into it more when the boys were younger and we would do some exotic shit. But lately, I try to find a pumpkin from the patch that is like very oblong and like this, and not like so round. And all I do is put the lines in it and make a football out of it. I make the stitches in it. That's my thing. Yeah, that's what, it's pretty easy to do.
Crap.
So we'll see. I couldn't even find one. I have one. It may work for it. It'll look more like a rugby ball than a football. But anyway, we'll see if the pumpkin carving happens tomorrow. We're on to the 1 o'clock slate. I don't know. We're probably 20 minutes. I feel like we're like 20 minutes in. The Cincinnati football team is the first team we're going to talk about Sunday, 1 p.m. They go to New York to play the Jets. They are 10-point favorites in this game. The over-under is 43.
Yeah, well, do we need to talk about?
Hell yeah, we talk about. We talk about Who Day.
They're pathetic. Well, Cincinnati looks really good because they stomped the shit out of the Rats.
They went into Baltimore and absolutely.
I'm pissed that they look so good.
Dude, they're real. I mean,
know.
they let everybody know we're here. We're not going away. Barring an injury to Burrow, they're not going anywhere. That Burrow-Chase connection is working. You know that if the playoffs start today, they're the number 1 seed?
I know.
That's awesome. Good for them. I love it. I like watching that football team play. The defense is shockingly good. I've been played. I mean, they contain Lamar Jackson, which is not an easy thing to do. The Jets, they come off a loss in New England. By the way, Cincinnati's
loss?
They got blown out. They lost a quarterback too, Zach Wilson. They
got the Ratbird back. They traded for a Ratbird.
Who? Oh, Flacco. He's not playing this week. You know who their quarterback is?
Some dude named Mike White.
Mike White. Yeah, me too. That
was he the mayor of Cleveland? Same guy?
I had to look it up. There was an old Illinois football coach named Mike White. But it's not him either. But I looked him up. It's his 3rd year in the league. I don't think he's taken any friggin' snaps besides last week. He comes from Western Kentucky University. But anyway, Cincinnati.
Good grief. They're going to stomp them. They're going to put 50 on the paper airplanes again.
Dan, you took them last week. You're not going to roll with the Jets 2 weeks in a row.
No.
Me neither. I'm laying the whole boatload with Cincinnati. I'm a believer. I've been a believer for a while in them. I think it's taken others to come around. It's that young defense that's playing well. And, Jamar Chase has 750 yards.
I know, he's sick.
And he's going to put up a 1,500 yard. I mean, remember they're talking about in the preseason how he's dropping all the balls? Holy shit, he hasn't dropped one since. So.
Holy shit, yeah, no. And he breaks tackles, too.
Yeah, he does. He's cool. That's a fun team to watch. I enjoy watching them play. We're both on the Bengals -10. Another good game on the board, and it's a very important game for the AFC South. The Tennessee Titans, who are 5-2, they travel to play Indianapolis, who's 3-4. The Titans are 1.5-point favorites in this game. Tennessee comes off an absolute beatdown at home against Kansas City. The defensive effort came out of nowhere, if you ask me, because they weren't really stopping people. They didn't give up a touchdown to Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs offense. And we're going to talk about the Chiefs. They're on the board.
I mean, yeah.
Indianapolis comes off a big win in San Francisco in that monsoon.
It was raining like hell.
They look great. Wentz looked pretty good. Looked like he was having fun playing ball. And I think Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the National Football League who doesn't get credit. if I didn't mention the records, I mean, it's a huge game. I guess more of a. These teams already played once. They played in week 3 in Tennessee, and Tennessee won 24-15 or 16, I think, was the score of that game. But I mean, this is a monster game for Indianapolis to get back in this thing. Tennessee 5-2, Indianapolis 3-4. I mean, they can close the gap considerably if that happens and just be a game back. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Indy on this one. They're at home. They came off a big win. Tennessee, I mean, that's big when you beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are making mistakes. Their defense isn't that good, but I'm going with Indy.
So am I. The over-under on this game is 49. I'm a little surprised by myself going with this. But Indianapolis played so well, and they got things going, and their defense can play. They got a better defense than Tennessee does. They don't probably have as good as offense. I mean, as long as they don't let Henry just run over them and be down 2 scores where they can just kind of run Henry,
right.
Down their throat type of thing. As long as it's a little bit of a back and forth game, I like Indianapolis. I'm sure it's gonna be a raucous crowd.
Tannehill's looking pretty good though too.
Dude, the AFC's stacked. I mean, stacked. Both these teams look really good right now. I mean, Tennessee looks a little bit better, but we're both on Indianapolis. We're taking the Colts, getting the 1.5 at home. Next game up, not as good a game. The Los Angeles Rams, they play Houston. The Rams are 6-1. Houston has the exact opposite record of 1-6. The Rams are 14.5-point favorites in this game. They come off a win against Detroit. And I tell you what, the Lions emptied the bag in regards to trick plays against them and fought hard.
I thought that was a good game.
It was awesome. I took
mean,
Detroit. I think people were shocked that I was willing to take Detroit. But Detroit had the lead. They go down, score the opening touchdown, and then onside kick, get it, and then don't move the ball, and then fake punt.
Yeah.
They get that, type
2
of thing.
fake punts in a game.
Yeah. And
ever been done before in the
both
NFL?
successful. I don't know about that. But, they interviewed Dan Campbell at halftime, and the sideline reporter said, asked him if he got any more other tricks up his bag. He said he just smiled. And they came out with a fake punt, in the second half as well. 14.5 on this game. And the Rams, they won the game. It wasn't pretty. They found a way. I mean, that's what good teams do. I mean, it's a 4-quarter game, and it's difficult, for a undermanned Lions team to hang with the talent that's on the Rams. As far as Houston goes, they lost in Arizona. They played hard as well. Talk about an undermanned team. Holy shit. And they're going to sell their players off. We just saw a trade for Ingram. That doesn't help the culture in the clubhouse, in the locker room, if you will. I'll take the lead. I think I've asked Dan the first few games. I'm going to lay it all with the Rams because I think Houston's defeated in regards to.
I'm going with the Rams too.
Like our owners don't believe in us.
Yeah.
They're going to sell off this team. We're on a perennial loser.
Yeah, so, I'm not doing shit so I don't get hurt.
That is 4 games in a row where Dan and I are on the same page. Big week for Dan. By the way, are you going to this game?
Hell yeah, baby.
With your business partner?
Yeah.
Traditional, right? That's what we do every year?
Tyler's going. My son's going.
Oh, wait.
We're tailgating.
Who else is going? Anybody else?
I mean.
Your wife going?
No.
You should take her.
Why?
Because you might end up with another dog. The last time Dan went to...
Not the last time, no. Actually, our dog turned 6 on Friday. So that was 6 years ago. Actually, yeah. It would have been 6 years ago. That was when we were playing on... It was January 1st or 3rd or something.
Wasn't the Myles Garrett game, was it?
No, but we were at that game.
So,
but yeah, no, I'm not ending up with another dog.
Yeah, I'll make the story brief. Dan was at the Browns-Steelers game, and I think his wife was texting him, and obviously he's trying to watch the picture, and we got a new family member.
Yeah.
Did the
we
dog
got this dog, and I was like, what the hell? What am I going to do? I'm sitting here in the second row.
That was strategic by Tammy, his wife. She's
totally strategic.
Dan's completely wasted, but it's probably it looks pretty cute. I don't mind.
What?
Right. How soon did the dog get named? Did the dog get named immediately?
Actually, the four of us at home all had different names for it, and the breeder, her granddaughter, named him Gideon, and everybody liked that name, so we just kept with.
Did you have one? What was your like name in the pot? Do you remember?
Well, because he was supposed to be a guardian and to go and breed, I wanted to call him Deuce. Like Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow, nice.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It didn't go over well with the rest of the family. Ended up being
everybody
Gideon.
had it. Harley was a name that I
Who? Harley?
Harley.
Is it like Davidson?
I think so.
Oh, all right.
I don't
remember any other ones?
Names. No.
What Tammy have? Was Tammy Harley?
I don't remember. No, I don't. I think one of the kids was.
For once, Tammy didn't get her way. All right. Pittsburgh back onto the game. They're 3-3. They come off bye. They play Cleveland. Cleveland ended up winning their game against Denver on Thursday night. The Browns are 3.5-point favorites in this game. The over/under is 42.5. I did mention that Pittsburgh comes off bye. They're probably a little bit healthier. I mean, the last time these two teams saw each other was in the playoffs, where the Browns absolutely destroyed them in Pittsburgh. Right out of the gate. Remember the snap immediately going over Roethlisberger's head?
Pouncey firing a snap for a punter. Thank you.
I mean, the offense for Pittsburgh is bland, not scary, not threatening, not anything.
15th in passing, 29th in rushing. Thought Najee Harris was supposed to fix that.
Their defense is okay. What's the deal? Let's talk about Cleveland's health. I mean, does it matter? Let me ask you.
Nick Chubb is coming back, and Jack Conklin.
That's what I heard. I heard both of those. A little insider information, but I heard both that those are accurate calls in regards to playing.
I wish Kareem Hunt was coming back, and I would if Kareem Hunt was coming back. I mean, Baker. If you're hurt and you hurt the team, I'm going to be pissed. Let Case Keenum play.
Do you think there's a big drop off between Mayfield and Keenum?
No. As long as the running game works, we're fine.
I didn't think so either, but one thing that when I was watching a Thursday night game against Denver, which obviously I watched the whole game because it's the only game on, there was no shots downfield, and Baker always seems to take shots downfield.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there.
I think that's the one thing that separates Mayfield from Keenum, and I don't know if they reined him in. And
he's not a risk taker. He's going to protect the football. 100%
is.
Mayfield, he'll sling it down there. He doesn't give a shit.
Cleveland minus 3.5, Dan.
Cleveland?
I'm taking
hell?
I'm taking the points with the Steelers.
Going to the game. It's Cleveland.
I think it's a good game. I do. I think it's a good game. I think it's a field goal game. I think Cleveland wins it. I love the hook in the game. It's the first time Dan and I are going to disagree. I knew we were going to disagree on this game. I wasn't decided until just now, but Pittsburgh's defense and Cleveland's offense hasn't. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it's Mayfield. If it's Keenum, the Steelers may win this game. I don't know. Why didn't they take any shots downfield?
I don't know.
I mean, Denver's defense sucks. No, they went right down the field. I mean, and everybody wants to talk about what's the guy's name?
Dearness Johnson, 146 yards rushing, about 30 more.
That's
passing.
all great. It was his O-line play that did it for him. Because Katie
That's what I'm saying. If we're gonna run the ball.
I mean, he had 146 yards, right?
Yeah.
I was out here. I'm like, Kate, we're at the end of the game. And we're still out here, like, hanging out and things like that. I'm like, I was talking about it. She wasn't. She was just listening. I'm like, he had 146 yards. I'm pretty sure I would have got like 16 at least myself because the holes were fucking huge that he was running through. So I put myself at over 116 yards
16?
rushing in
That's
that game. Yeah. What do you think you would have got?
85.
No way. Not you didn't asking for your mom. Anyway.
Probably. That's why I wouldn't have got 100.
All right, here we go. Next game on the board. Philadelphia travels to play Detroit, Motor City. Philadelphia is a 3-point favorite in this game. Philadelphia's 2-5. Detroit's 0-7. I think they are the only winless football team out there. Philadelphia comes off a loss in Las Vegas. Detroit comes off that loss against the Rams where they emptied the bag, and they played really hard, continue to play really hard under Dan Campbell. Over-under in this game is 48. I think there's still a lot of questions in Philadelphia at the offense with Hurts, and I stomped for him late last year.
You get rid of Flacco, now people are talking about put Minshew in.
Yeah,
Minshew magic.
They're not. I don't think they're sold on Jalen Hurts, and I'm not as sold on Jalen Hurts as I was either. He missed some throws on that Thursday night football game I was watching, and he missed some throws last week too. I don't know. I thought there was more to Hurts than maybe there is in this game. Philadelphia -3 at Detroit. Dan, what do you think?
Detroit.
It's short enough for me. I'm taking Fly Eagles Fly. It's funny because it seems like Detroit plays really well against
really good teams.
Yes, and not as well against average teams.
Well,
I don't know.
This is their last chance.
I would say that, but
if they don't win this game, then they're checking out too.
I would say that the game that got blown out was the Cincinnati Bengals, and that was a few weeks ago. And now we found out, Cincinnati Bengals are real. They're the only team that's absolutely blowing the doors off the Detroit Lions, and they did. I mean, it wasn't close. I think they might have shut them out. Shit, I don't know. That young defense is playing super well. I'm on Philadelphia. Dan's taking the Fighting Dan Campbell's. That's 2 games in a row after we went 4 games in a row together. Next game on the board is San Francisco 49ers travel to Soldier Field to play the Chicago Bears. San Francisco is a 3-point favorite in this game. They're 2-4. The Bears are 3-4. Bears have not had their bye yet. San Francisco has. San Francisco comes off their loss against Indianapolis in that deluge rainstorm. They're a mess. They're a mess. They started out pretty good, and then Indianapolis certainly had the better of them for sure. I mean, Garoppolo is starting again. I mean, I feel like the offense is very limited. I mean, they don't have Kittle. Their offense is very limited, if you ask me, with San Francisco.
Yeah, no, I agree. Is Nagy coaching, or is he still on COVID?
Oh, dude, he watched the film, of the game against Tampa and was sick to his stomach. It turns out it was COVID. I don't think it fucking matters that Nagy's there on the sideline or not. They might play better.
They might play better.
I've been a fan of Nagy. Guys know
I'm not a fan of him.
I have been. I mean, I like his rah-rah spirit. I think his offensive scheme sucks, and that's what he was brought in for. He's not a douche. I mean, the players like him. I mean, he's a very likable dude. He's a rah-rah guy.
Well, but this is the same reason why, what's his name, is still at Kansas
Eric
City.
Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Are we going to get another Nagy?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and supposedly Nagy brings the Kansas City Chiefs offense to Chicago, but it doesn't look anything like the Kansas City offense to me at all. I mean, it was a disaster on national television. I mean, Aikman and Buck were doing the game or whatever it was. So everybody saw it unless you had your local game on or whatever it was.
When I traveled home,
horrible.
Yeah, that was my local game. I got to see that. That was the only thing on for football when we got home at like 5 o'clock. And I'm drinking a beer, and I'm going, what?
I was drinking by halftime because it was driving me to drink, if you will. I mean, it was an absolute disaster. Khalil Mack is most likely out in regards to the game. I think the Bears might be sellers I would say the Bears would be sellers at the trade deadline, which comes up next Tuesday.
Who are you going to sell?
Akeem Hicks, Allen Robinson, who they're not going to extend. I love Allen Robinson. I think Akeem Hicks could help a team in the middle, certainly. They're not going to extend Allen Robinson, and he's a great player if you ask me. I don't care if they sell off Mack if he's healthy enough. I mean, this is all about Fields and going forward, and obviously the Bears are going through growing pains, but it's not this year. And the Bears are short on draft capital because of the Justin Fields trade. I don't have a problem with them selling off players and things that I enjoy watching Fields play. It was horrible this week, but anyway.
How about that story about him getting the message through the headset that you got a
12 men on the field, right?
Shot.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, and he throws the ball down the field. I thought he had a free play. It turns into a pick. I mean, the Bears had a COVID problem on the right side. The right tackle went out like hours before the game because of COVID. The dude they put in there originally was an absolute turnstile. They brought in Alex Bars. You remember Alex Bars from Notre Dame? Mm-hmm. He played serviceably, I guess, if you will. But I think they get one of the rookies back, Larry Borum, who's going to play that spot. Anyway, we're talking a lot about the Bears, like a bunch of inside shit that nobody cares about, really. San Francisco's -3. I mean,
I'm going with the Bears.
So am I.
I hate San Francisco.
I think the Bears win this game. I think they bounce back. They had a disaster in Cleveland, and they bounced back against Detroit the following week and played pretty well. They had a disaster in Tampa Bay. I think they bounced back against San Francisco. I like them to stay kind of on the fringe of the playoff conversation and go 4-4 before they go into Pittsburgh on Monday night the following week. All right, next game up on the board, the Carolina Panthers in division travel to play the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are -3 in this game. The over-under is 45. Carolina is 3-4. Atlanta is 3-3. Carolina comes off a bad loss at the Giants.
Darnold being Darnold.
Yeah, he got benched in that game for P.J. Walker, who's a XFL guy or whatever you call that league or whatever it was. A guy from Temple that Matt Rule coached, and when he was at Temple, athletic dude. I haven't heard he's going to start at quarterback. I'm assuming it's going to be Darnold. I don't even know, but he certainly got benched in that game. Atlanta comes off there winning Miami. Back and forth game. They ended up winning at the buzzer. We lost the bet. We both took. Well, I took Atlanta. You took Miami. It was one of the games you won. It was 2.5. They ended up winning by 2 because whatever his name is, Koo, kicked the field goal at the end, but it made it a 2-point difference. Kyle Pitts.
He's good.
He's on now. Yeah, it's on now. I mean, he showed in London. They went on bye. He came back and backed it up last week in Miami. He's the real deal. I mean, he's a complete mismatch. He's like a wide receiver in a tight end's body for sure. Atlanta -3 in this game. I like Atlanta. I like fly.
Open up Chick-fil-A. I'm taking Atlanta.
Fair enough. I hear it. Yeah, Chick-fil-A is not open in Mercedes-Benz
Open
on
it up,
Sundays.
baby.
I like Atlanta too. Carolina.
They're a mess. Now there's rumors Matt Rule wants to go back to college and shit.
Really, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, LSU's open, USC's open. I mean, those are
there are some prime jobs. Those are huge jobs.
What the heck? Franklin leaves, Penn State. It's going to be open.
It kind of makes a circle.
Tomlin may be going to USC.
Oh shit! You shot that down like a heartbeat.
Yeah, that was.
I like
hysterical.
Tomlin. Yeah,
Tomlin's awesome.
He's an awesome dude.
He basically said, "Get the hell out of here."
He's straight up, and he was pissed that he even got asked the pissed that he got asked the question even. So we're both on the Falcons -3. Next game on the board, the Miami Dolphins in division as well. They travel to Buffalo. Miami 1-6, maybe the most disappointing team in the National Football League.
Huge disappointment.
I hate saying that. My in-laws love them. They won the game in New England opening week and have lost 6 in a row. Buffalo's 4-2. They come off bye. I mean, Miami comes off that loss in Atlanta. The line, by the way, is Buffalo Bills -13.5. I don't know if you can make this big enough. Miami, like I said, come off this loss in Atlanta. I mean, there's all kinds of question marks in Miami as well now, and
with this Deshaun Watson bullshit.
Right.
I mean,
what is Tua thinking?
I agree, and I'm still pissed at the NFL. Suspend the prick, so the Houston Texans don't have to pay his salary. Put him on that special list, because as soon as somebody puts him on his active or puts him into play, Goodell's gonna go, "Oh no, he can't play. He's on my special list." It's bullshit. It pisses me off.
Yeah, I completely hear you. People are in limbo, and it puts Watson in limbo, who doesn't deserve any graces because he put himself in this position. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
he wants to dictate he's going to get traded to, and it's Miami.
He knows
Screw him.
He knows he doesn't have any of that leverage left. He knows he doesn't have that leverage.
I put his ass in the game without practicing against the Rams. Stick him in. You're going in.
And we're going one-on-one against.
Put his ass in.
But meanwhile, I mean, it's
we're gonna be seeing lookout blocks. Oh shit, look out!
Right, no shit.
Put him in. Stick his ass in.
The trade rumor is like, hey, they've agreed on compensation for Watson, but the Dolphins and Stephen Ross, their owner, wants confirmation from the National Football League that he can play.
Yeah, no shit.
How's that gonna happen? That good luck with that. That's not gonna happen. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Houston, play him.
My guess is
stick his ass in.
Well, with the stance here, I mean, he can probably play the rest of the year if you want to go that route. But there's no reason for the Dolphins to do that because they're not making the playoffs at 1-6.
No.
And then there's a good chance that the litigation goes the wrong way for Deshaun Watson, and he's on the exempt list for the whole year.
Yeah.
I mean,
stick his ass in, Houston.
I don't know how you can trade for.
Put him in.
I mean, there's too many variables out there to make a trade for Deshaun Watson. In any event, Buffalo's -13.5. Last time we saw them, they lost in Tennessee in a very great football game, and it came down the very end, and Josh Allen tried to sneak it in, he lost footing, didn't make it in, blah, blah, blah. A lot of teams go for fourth down plays that wouldn't happen 20 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago even. In any event, 13.5 of Buffalo. You going to lay the whole wood?
No, I'm going with Miami. They're going to lose the game, but 13.5 is too big.
Me too. I have no idea why. Not that I have any idea why. I have been big on this galvanization thing, and I think, I don't know, it could go both ways. I mean, Xavier Howard, who's the best probably defensive player that the Dolphins have, has been rumored to be out there and available and things like that. Tua's got to be questioning what the hell's going on, but maybe they galvanize and like us against the world. We're players. I don't care what they're doing up in the high-rise suite in our stadium in regards to ownership or anything else. We're just going to go play and do our thing. So, plus, I talked to Adam Shaheen's sister today. they're in a good spirit. I had no idea if that's true, but I did talk to Adam Shaheen's sister today, who happens to be a random adjuster that I talked to here in Ohio. In any event, all right, next game on the board, the New England Patriots travel to play the Los Angeles Chargers. It's kind of an intriguing game, if you ask me. Chargers have been placed at 5.5-point favorites. Over-under is 49. New England comes off a win against the New York Jets. Not a win. They destroyed the New York Jets. Dan thinks a lot about Belichick, or of Belichick is a better way to put it. Chargers come off bye. They're healthier. They got 2 weeks to sit on that loss that they came off in Baltimore. I'm sure they're itching to play and get that bad taste out of their mouth. 5.5 in this. I mean, is Belichick going to be able to scheme enough against a fairly young quarterback in Herbert to keep them in this game?
I think the bigger question is, you have a young coach who
Brandon Staley.
This is a big test for him, and he's had 2 weeks to prepare.
So, this is like the term paper, or whatever you want to say, right here with Belichick.
I'm taking the Chargers in this one.
So am I. I mean, New England is a very difficult team to predict as well, because they
play
great and they don't play great
whatsoever,
and they're running trick plays and doing other things.
Good.
It is. I mean, I just don't. I think the Chargers have too much firepower offense for Belichick to scheme the whole thing out, where this ends up being like a 2017 game or something like that.
The Chargers got their ass waxed and then had 2 weeks to think about it. I'm taking the Chargers on this one.
Me too. I think they win this game by a touchdown at least. A Chargers defense isn't bad. I mean, the over-under on this game is 49 out of Vegas. I mean, I got to believe that put that wherever you want.
We're going long.
We are going long. I got to believe that the Chargers get 30 of those 49 points almost, or at least 27 of them, which covers that number for sure.
Good thing I have another one right here.
I'm close. I don't know what you think of mine, but maybe I'll let you take. I'm gonna let Dan take the reins of the show if I go get a drink out of the fridge. All right, next game on the board: the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 1-5. They travel out to Seattle. Seattle's 2-5. Seattle's been placed at a 3.5-point favorite in this game. The over/under is 44. Here we go. The Jaguar team is gaining confidence. They've won one game in a row.
One game in a row?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing. They're going for 2 in a row. Dan, do your thing. Do your Urban Meyer thing. Winning streak. Bang, bang. 2 in a row. We're going for 2. Going for 2. Going for 2 games in a row.
They ain't going to get 2 in a row.
I tell you what. They are on a winning streak. They won a game. You know, are they going to win 2 in a row? That's the question. I was waiting for Dan to do his stupid finger thing, which he loves to do. Seattle's minus 3.5 in this game again.
Bend over, Seattle.
Obviously, Seattle's really.
I'm gonna rub my 2 fingers up against your jeans.
Seattle's really missing Russ Wilson, right?
Yeah, totally.
What do you think about Geno's performance? I mean, we thought he played okay, and then he didn't look very good against New Orleans, right?
No, he did not look very good against New Orleans. But Jacksonville has to travel to Seattle. The fans are nuts. I don't think that Jacksonville lives up there. They're not going to survive.
You know what Seattle's record is this year?
I don't think they've won at home.
0-3.
Yeah, well, they'll be 1-3 after this one.
Not me. Do your finger thing, Dan.
Are you 2 in a row?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Not only do I think they get under this number, I think they win the game in Seattle. I think they're gaining confidence. They're gaining confidence. Trevor Lawrence is gaining confidence.
They won a game and had 2 weeks off.
Trevor can play. I mean, we saw. I mean,
he can play, but
he
needs
people.
Seahawks.
Their defense sucks. You don't think Jacksonville's going to move the ball on them?
They might move the ball, but
I think they're going to win the game. I do. I think they're going to money line play. Hopefully that game swells to 4. It's at 3.5 right now. Take the money line. Swing at it. All right, next football game up on the board. The Washington football team goes out to Denver. Washington football teams are 2-5 on the year. Denver's 3-4 on the year. Denver won their first 3 games of the year, lost the next 4. Like I said, Washington football team we talked about earlier. They came off a loss in Green Bay where they moved the ball like up and down the field, but couldn't convert it into points. Denver, they come off that Thursday night loss in Cleveland. Teddy Bridgewater and their offense looked very sputtering. They do get Jerry Jeudy back this week, which is a good thing for them. Once again, if I didn't mention it, the line is Denver minus 3. The over-under is 43.5. What do you think?
I don't know. Bridgewater, he looked hurt to me. I mean, watching the game and the pregame stuff, because it was Thursday night's game. I got nothing to do until freaking 8:20. I'm watching all that crap. He was limping coming into the stadium.
Why not play Drew Lock?
That's what I was wondering.
They're
So, I mean, and I'm not up on to Denver. I don't pay attention to Denver, but Bridgewater didn't look healthy to me.
Didn't look himself to you?
Yeah.
Do you remember at the beginning of the year I was stomping on Denver and how I thought, like, even the season
Defense was good.
Remember the season, the preseason show, if you will. I'm like, I think Kansas City's going to have a much tougher road because I think Denver's going to be good. I think the Chargers are going to be good. Turns out the Raiders are on top of the division. I mean, the whole damn division is okay except for Denver. Now Denver
like
sucks.
me with Miami on that division.
So yeah, I mean, Denver didn't have the expectations coming in the year that the Miami football team did. The Washington football team, like I said, they moved the ball at will against the Green Bay Packers. I like them. They just make stupid mistakes. I think they're going to win this game outright too.
Yeah,
I love these guys on the money line as well. We're both on Washington. Not only do I like them getting the field goal, I mean, I probably wouldn't. I mean, there's no reason to play a money line when you're getting 3. If you're getting 4 or more or something like that, I think that's a good money line play. But I like the Washington football team to win this game. I would say get under the number of 3, but I think it's a field goal game, and I think it goes Washington's way. All right, last game on the 4 o'clock slate is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in division. Go to play New Orleans Saints, and this is a pretty good game, or it's a very important game, I guess, is the best way to put it. Tampa Bay is 6-1. They are -4.5 in this game, traveling on the road in division in New Orleans. Both these teams come off wins. Tampa Bay comes off the win against Chicago, where they absolutely destroyed my Bears. Fuck, man, that was horrible watching. New Orleans, they come off a win in Seattle, where it was, they gave up a big play at the beginning, but kind of controlled the game throughout, barring the big play, the 84-yard pass play that they gave up to DK Metcalf from Geno. But once again, Tampa Bay -4.5. Over-under this game is 51. That's quite a few points. I mean, Tampa Bay's tough to defend. I mean,
their offense is clicking, and they get Gronk back.
Do they?
That's what I
Do they
heard.
get Antonio Brown back?
I don't know about. Who gives a shit?
I mean, the Bears got absolutely destroyed, and they didn't have Antonio Brown or Gronk. I mean, they're loaded on offense. I mean,
Gronk came back to practice. I don't know if he'll play, but Tampa Bay's they're clicking.
he's a special player.
I can't stand those freaking commercials. You've seen it.
Well, just because
You've
you
seen
talk
it.
now,
I hate it.
because you talk about, I was egging Dan on. He hates the USAA insurance, military insurance commercials.
Can't stand them.
I think he's special.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Do a better job and find. Yeah, that's a waste of money. It pisses me off. But I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. I hate those freaking commercials.
I was just pushing Dan's buttons in regards to
you're
that.
pushing them because I got this shit on, in the background, and he comes on, and I have to mute it because I can't stand it. I'm special.
I hear you. I want to take New Orleans in this game, and I don't know if you can talk. Maybe you talk me out of it, but
wait, you know what? I don't like those State Farm commercials either with Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers because they think they're fucking special too. Screw you.
Yeah, screw Aaron Rodgers. I'm all about it. But and Mahomes, what a freaking mess.
Rodgers rate.
They're on the board still, and we're gonna talk about that. That shows a mess. Talk me out of this. The New Orleans defense is good.
Tampa Bay. They're good. Yeah,
Jameis is so damn erratic. I mean, there was a pass.
Tampa Bay's offense is freaking phenomenal.
There was a pass on 3rd down and like 2 or 3, and in the Seattle game that I was watching, and it was an easy throw. There was nobody in his sight line, and the guy just runs like a little button hook thing. Like he goes like 4 yards up, turns around, comes back a yard. Hey, we're gonna get our 3 yards. All he's got to do is throw it like on his numbers, and he throws it like wildly.
Okay, so we go back to remember when he was at Florida State and he's doing this? You couldn't even see.
He got LASIK.
He's big deal. He's used to throwing the long ball and letting people run to it. He can't throw with accuracy underneath. No.
You're right. I agree. Dan talked me out of it. He talked me out of it. I'm on Tampa Bay -4.5 as well. I don't like it. I mean, I think it's going to be a raucous crowd. The Tampa Bay offense has too many weapons. I mean, the weaponry there is insane. I mean, it doesn't matter who's hurt. I mean, you still got
Fournette's coming back to Louisiana. Come on.
Let's talk about the fun stuff with Mike Evans giving Tom Brady's 600 touchdown ball to the fan.
Well, I mean, he's got a habit of handing the balls out when he scores. I mean,
right, and you get fined for that, by the way. Who cares? He doesn't care. He's got more money he knows to do it. Right.
I mean, that's a stupid thing to get fined for.
You see the final haul?
NFL. Yeah, that dude made out. I mean,
I suppose.
$1,000 in the team shop, a Bitcoin.
That's come from Brady alone, which is valued at like $60-some thousand.
And some other shit.
Yeah, he got Mike Evans cleats. He got a signed jersey. He got a signed football, and he got season tickets for the rest of the year and next year. So yeah, I mean, he's got to give. I mean, barring you being a complete douchebag, you got to give the ball back. You got to give the ball back. I mean, he should have held on to it longer and negotiated a bit more. I'm an attorney. That's what I do for a living. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Hold the damn ball until you get what you want.
The dude ended up being a doctor or some shit.
Is he?
I don't think. I mean, I don't want to say you didn't need the money because who doesn't need money? But it was cool. I like the story. I mean,
no, I think it's great. I think the Buccaneers did him right in regards to that. I think he's happy. Hopefully, he negotiate for that exact seat because that's a sweet ass seat.
Yeah,
right there, like in front when people score touchdowns. That's fun. All right,
I mean, $1,000 in the team shop—that's a lot of money to spend on jerseys and fucking.
What do they cost? Like, what do they cost at a team shop at the thing? $200?
Probably.
I couldn't even buy the whole tribe here jerseys. You know, I have 4 boys. My wife. Anyway, whatever. I mean, he had to give the ball back. I mean, literally, I think Sotheby's, who's that auction place or whatever, said that it's probably a $500,000, $600,000 ball, push come to shove, if it ever went up to auction. In any event, so it's a bad deal monetary wise in regards to that, but he did the right thing. Good for him.
Bitcoin might turn into something.
Right, I think it's valued at like 63G right now. Are you into Bitcoin? I don't own any.
No,
Bitcoin.
but the way Biden's run this shit, you never know.
What a mess. Freaking Brandon. Anyway, we're not going there.
Let's go, Brandon.
We're not going there. Anyway, all right, next game on the board. I think this is a pretty good game, actually. This is Sunday Night Football. We finally made it Sunday Night Football. The thing hasn't went out. It's an hour-long thing, so we're still under an hour, which is good. Dallas travels to Minnesota. Dallas is 5-1. The Vikings are 3-3. Dallas has been put a 2.5-point favorite in this game. Dallas, both these teams come off bye, so they're both fresh.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, and Dallas needed it because Dak hurt his calf. As you said, there's been a lot of calves in the National Football League this year.
I don't know what the hell was with the calf injury.
But they needed that because he's the one who runs that show there and makes the thing tick. And they got weaponry too. I mean, they got good backs and Elliott and Pollard. They got great receivers, and CeeDee Lamb is just an absolute emerging star in the National Football League. There's no two ways about that. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins is playing well. You like that. Kirk Cousins is playing really well. And he's got a stud playmaker himself in Justin Jefferson and has a very steady Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook. These are two good offenses here. Is Dallas going to – I mean, it's a short enough line to say, hey, Dallas is a better team. We going with Dallas?
I'm going with Dallas.
I think Minnesota wins this football game. I do. I think Minnesota wins this football game. That place is hard to and difficult to play in. I've seen it with the Bears. I've seen it often. That fucking guy, what is that fucking guy? The Viking guy with that thing, that horn, whatever. They won 14-7. I mean, they did beat them, but whatever. So Dallas is way better than Cleveland?
Dallas.
Dan loves Cowboys.
No, I hate the Cowboys.
What? Can you make that noise?
No, I'm not even.
You know the skull noise or whatever it is?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, that's probably a really bad rendition of it.
I hear your buddy. Is he on his way?
Dan hears a siren. I got a buddy, Deputy Hip, who shows up, likes to act like he's going to arrest people. He's my buddy. He made the show this week. Good for him. I think he watches. All right, we're on the Monday Night Football. This is a clunker for Monday Night Football. The New York Giants, they travel out to Kansas City. The Giants are 2-5. Kansas City is 3-4, looking obviously in on the playoff, chase. Kansas City has been put as a 10-point favorite. Over/under is 52 in this game. Giants come off a pretty good win against Carolina. I mean, they dominated the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what that really says. Kansas City comes off an absolute clunker in Tennessee, where they looked awful. Offensively, defensively, the whole 9 yards is broke. I mean, this team, they're 3-4, Dan.
I know. They look.
I think there's a legitimate
Mistakes are showing up.
Let's talk about the AFC West again. Let's talk about the Raiders, who's not a pushover. The
No.
Chargers, they beat the
Raiders
Chargers.
who were missing their head coach because of some BS scandal.
The Chargers beat Kansas City in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
They're in trouble. I mean, they're at best a wild card.
The Browns should have beat them in Arrowhead.
They should have. I mean, they're close to. I mean, they're in trouble, like big trouble. Like what would have been probably a unanimous AFC pick, them or the Buffalo Bills, to make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, their likelihood of making the playoffs right now, I probably would put it less than 50%.
Good.
I don't disagree. They're -10. Are they going to destroy the Giants?
No. I'm going with the Giants.
They got to fix it at some point in time. Andy Reid's a great coach. There's so much firepower. I'm laying it. I think they're going to blow out the Giants. They never cover.
They never cover.
I'm playing to never cover Kansas City
That's
Chiefs
why I'm not
-10.
playing them. They never cover.
All right, on bye is Dan's into a third beer. We're still not under an hour. On bye are the Ravens and the Raiders. That's why my board ran out of space. I thought there was more teams on bye. I don't know. There were 6 teams on bye last week, only 2 this week. I don't know how that works. Elephant picks. Here we go. We have to look at the board. This is going to be a big pause for me, I think.
I think I'm going with Atlanta because Chick-fil-A is going to be open.
I like it. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers -5.5 against New England. Big fan of that game. I do like money line play with Jacks. I do. I think it's a fun play. If you're up early, that's a 4 o'clock game. If you're up early on the 1 o'clock games and want to take a swing, play Jacks heavy on the money line. Go for it. That's been the whole week. I got to play golf tomorrow. Hopefully this thing goes up tomorrow morning. I got to try to run it tonight, actually, after the show here. Next week, you might see a different set, like I said. It will turn the calendar page to the 11th month, November. That means Christmas goes up in the garage here. So, oh, wait. I'm killing it, and we didn't do our college pick. By the way, we're doing good on college picks.
Yeah, well.
I tried to. Michigan State. I mean, this is a fun game. Again, once again.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm going with Michigan State because screw Michigan.
Michigan is 6th ranked. Michigan State is 8th ranked. The Wolverines are put at 4.5-point favorite. Both of these teams are 7-0. Both of them live in the East of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this game is probably going to decide who's going to go to the Big Ten championship game. It's a monster game. It is in East Lansing. Game day is there. Both these teams run the ball. You're with the
Michigan
Spartans?
State.
I'm not. I'm with the Wolverines laying the
Screw
4.5. I am.
Get the hell out of here.
They have a better defense, if you ask me. I like Michigan. By the way, last 2 weeks we're
You picked Michigan and the Steelers.
take that. Cheers.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Anyway, I ran the
What a
outro
dick.
already. What a dick. I ran the outro already. I know we're running long. I don't know what it is, but yeah, hopefully this goes up. Like I said, I got to play golf tomorrow. I'm going to try to run this.
Is Hoban playing this weekend?
Dan's talking about high school football. That's too pure. We can't bet on high school lines. We're not doing it. Christmas tree will be up next week. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching.
He picked Michigan.
Here we go.